Hello everyone and welcome back. If you've been following for a while, you'll know about some of my builds, including the Masochist and the Perfect Playthrough. The issues with these builds are that the focus is on the end game. They are slow starters, often requiring days of gameplay time to set up, so I thought to myself, how can I make the most powerful character possible in only an hour or two? And that's when I came up with this build. I'm starting off with a character that has already finished the prologue. I saved this character because I was lucky enough to find a Vault-Tec lab coat in Vault 111. This is not necessary, but it's nice to have. So upon exiting the vault, I rebuilt my character with the following special stats. As a side note, I left my charisma at 1 intentionally to prove the point that I could afford what I needed without any investment in charisma. Redoing this build though, I would drop a point from strength and from intelligence and invest 2 in charisma to unlock the Lone Wanderer perk, which would make our character quite a bit stronger and make buying and selling a bit easier. Upon leaving the vault, be sure to grab the hub flower on the way down. By the way, I set my difficulty to very hard. Usually people will demonstrate how powerful their builds are on normal or even on very easy, but we don't play that way. We'll circle around the northern side of the water to pick up some starter armor as well as a couple of hub flowers. We only need 2 to get started, but hub flowers are one of the keys to buying and selling without depending on charisma. Head into the root cellar behind this house and grab everything you can. Mainly, we need the 3 gold bars and the Gwyneth Stout beers to help us with early game purchases. Once you get to Sanctuary, grab the special book and add a point to agility. Do Codsworth's quests and then hit the workbench and start scrapping. Scrap everything you see aside from the crafting stations. I usually move the chemistry station and the cooking station near the main workbench to consolidate everything. When you're scrapping, be sure to grab the Mentos on the floor of the house that has the root cellar behind it. The only luck involved with this build is needing to find a +2 charisma suit or dress. In my run, I found summer shorts and a dirty blue suit. Though this is random, I have yet to have a run that didn't have at least 1 2 charisma suit or dress somewhere in Sanctuary. Once you scrap everything, if you haven't hit level 2 yet, build some wooden shelves until you do. Use your first perk on science. This will allow you to build large water purifiers. Build 3 of those and 5 small generators to power them. This is a great way to start off Sanctuary as it will deposit the extra water into the workbench, which we will use to buy stuff later. From here, spend some time building wooden shelves. Build until you hit about level 5 or 6. This will allow you to get some key early game perks. Put a point in Medic and a point in Chemist. Chemist is required for the next part. Go to your chemistry station and craft poison caltrops. This requires the Far Harbor DLC. If you don't have the DLC, you can still use this strategy, but you'll need to use purified water instead, which will take a bit longer. Craft poison caltrops until your steel is down to about 200. I like to keep some steel behind in case I need it later. At this point, you should have around 170 poison caltrops by the time you're done. Before we continue, make sure you have the following items in your inventory: the caltrops, the +2 charisma suit or dress, mentats, 2 hub flower, and 3 gold bars. Put on the best armor you have at this point, and then let's head to Red Rocket and pick up Dog Meat. He can be helpful in the early game with tough enemies. Go behind Red Rocket into the Mole Rat Den. There's a fusion core in here as well as some black rim glasses which will give us another boost to charisma. From here, head west to Abernathy Farms. Just southwest to Abernathy is a small shack which has a bottle of whiskey. This, along with a mentats and 2 hub flower, will allow you to craft great mentats at the chemistry station. Head back to Abernathy and use the chemistry station on the side of the main house to craft our great mentats. These give 5 charisma and 10% better buying and selling prices. These are the key to buying and selling with a low charisma character. So be sure to grab any whiskey, mentats, and hub flowers that you see. With our great mentats in hand, we'll go on a long journey down to Vault 81. Try not to get distracted along the way, but when you finally get there, you should find the merchant Cricket. She is a wandering merchant, so if she's not there, sleep until the next afternoon and check again. The strongest weapon you can get for this build without depending on luck or DLCs is the Spray and Pray explosive submachine gun, and this lovely lady sells it to us. Put on your suit and glasses, drink a beer, and use your great mentats. This will bring our total charisma up to 10. Buy the Spray and Pray as well as all of our 45 ammo, and sell the gold bars and as many poison caltrops as you need to cover it. I actually forgot to bring the gold bars with me in this video, but I still had plenty of caps from the caltrops alone. While we're here, head into Vault 81 and use your inflated charisma to pass the check to get into the vault. You can also swing by Alexis Comb Shop and buy as much 45 ammo as you can afford with your remaining poison caltrops. Head out and travel back to Sanctuary. At this point, we are about an hour into our game and already have a very powerful weapon. Put a point into Commando to boost your automatic weapon damage and head off to Concord. This part of the game should be an absolute breeze. Try not to waste ammo as it may be a bit before we can get more. When you get to Preston, grab the Perception Bobblehead and put a point into Demolition Expert to further scale the damage of Spray and Pray. Grab the Power Armor, invest a point in Nuclear Physicist, and head down below. The Deathclaw is normally a rough fight on very hard difficulty, but it's a lot more manageable with our new weapon. Once you finish the quest with Preston, head back to Sanctuary and we can start working on our Power Armor. Repair everything and apply explosive shielding to as many pieces as you can. You might be low on adhesive like me, so just stop back in Sanctuary from time to time and apply more explosive shielding. This will help prevent damaging yourself from explosions from your own weapon. From here, we can grab our purified water from the workbench and head to Diamond City. Finish Piper's quest and buy some more 45 ammunition using purified water. If you picked more hub flowers, you can buy a Mentats from the chem vendor Solomon and a whiskey from the Dugout Inn to craft more great Mentats. And this will help you buy more ammo. Pick up the Unlikely Valentine quest from Ellie and head off to find Nick. This is a great quest to do at this point because we will be fighting a lot of trigger men, many of whom use the precious 45 ammunition that we need. Be sure to loot both the ammunition and the guns, as the remaining ammunition and the guns will also be added to your inventory. If you get over encumbered, drop the guns on the ground and keep going. Rescue Nick and take care of Skinny Malone, and you should leave with a good stash of ammunition. And that's where I will end this build guide. I was able to complete everything to this point in under 2 hours, and it's definitely the strongest start I've ever had in Fallout 4. From here, you have a lot of options. Continue to invest in Commando and Demolition Expert for damage, Nuclear Physicist to increase your fusion core efficiency, and Medic to improve your survivability. As far as improvements to your gear, invest points in the Armorer perk and improve your Power Armor. As for weapons, the only guaranteed weapon that is a direct upgrade is the Kiloton Radium Rifle found in Far Harbor. The radiation damage from this weapon will also get a boost from our investment in Nuclear Physicist. However, the ultimate weapon for this build would be an explosive combat shotgun modified with an automatic receiver. An explosive minigun would also be great, but would require investment in the heavy gunner perk to take full advantage of. If you want to know how to farm these random legendary items like a pro, be sure to subscribe and watch my legendary item farming guides. Overall, this is a tanky build with amazing damage and a very fun playstyle, but most importantly, it becomes viable within an hour or two of leaving Vault 111. If you would like to see the unedited version of this video, I have uploaded the entire 2-hour video here. I hope you enjoy, and remember, to survive in the wasteland, you gotta be efficient.